Good evening and welcome to Guna Matters. And remember, Guna Matters is here for a you. My slogan, tagline, your opinion matters. No matter what the opinion, it matters. Subscribe to Guna Matters if you haven't done so, and also smash the bell and also the likes, and give us a like if you like it. If you don't like it, give us a dislike. But I'm sure you will like what you hear and what you see. Now, my guest for tonight is no other than Wolfie and Jonathan Arnold. Jonathan, is your first time. Welcome to the
Yeah,
show. What are you
thank
up to,
you.
my man?
No, I'm all good. So I'm also excited. See, that is my first time. I've been watching the show and following you, and 3 weeks you invited me 3 times already, and I couldn't make it. So I'm finally here tonight.
Great stuff, great stuff. Wolfie, welcome back. You were there last week. Very, a short notice, but thanks again for you to be available tonight.
Always a
How
pleasure.
how are
Always
you,
a
my
pleasure.
man?
I'm good. It's Friday. Best day of the week. So yeah, I'm happy. We're in fourth place, and yeah, it's happy days at the moment. May it continue.
I'm sure there's a lot of Arsenal supporters that are happy, very happy. Um, there's not much to discuss tonight, but there's a lot of to discuss about the topics, and I want to start with Arteta. Let's see if Lenny, are you there, my man? No, still not. Let's start with Arteta. Um, there's one question I want to ask, and you guys can obviously take your time in your response. Does Arteta know what he's doing, and will he carry us through? Anyone can start. Wolfie,
Uh,
start with you.
Um, Look, by now that we're laying in fourth, look, I've been one of our Arteta's biggest critics,
I'm sure.
based on yeah, look, solely based on performances. So I've been one of his biggest critics, and I have to admit that he's basically trying to establish Arsenal in his way of playing, and in doing so, he needed to get rid of a lot of players. There was a lot of deadwood. There was also a lot of stumbling blocks that he needed to also get rid of. I mean, like if we look at the Bamayans, the Ozils, those kind of guys, and he slowly but surely is clearing the path. And I mean, we can see the we can now see we can. It's time now that we can see the direction that Arsenal is heading into.
Mm,
And the only way we can see that is by looking at the performances. He's a young manager. He's still learning a lot. We can't take nothing away from what he's doing and what he's trying to do. He is learning a lot, and he's learning a lot by winning, by when we draw, when we lose. So, but I mean, if you look at the performances and the fact that he's giving guys like Martinelli chances, and he's really putting his faith in these youngsters, and these youngsters are really repaying him. If we look at the performances of Odegaard, he's really stepping up. If you look at the performances of Saka, he had a bit of a poor season, beginning of the season, and through that incident that he had with England and the Euros.
mm,
But Arteta stuck with him and continued to put his faith in him, and I mean, he is providing. He's proving all these negative guys and these reporters that said that the guy needed a rest, and I mean, he is basically silencing his critics. Oh,
mm.
and what Arteta's doing, you know, if we can jump to Smith Rowe, a lot of these youngsters they are flourishing, and it's exciting. It's very exciting for us to see all these youngsters what they're doing. I mean, we are the youngest team in the Premier League, and at the moment we are laying fourth, which is a remarkable achievement. And I'm a
Yes.
guy. I will tell you if you're going wrong, and if the performance is poor, I will have a go at you. But also credit given to where credit is due, and we have to admit that we have been playing well. We've been scoring goals, and we've been climbing the table, and we've been consistent. And Arteta's all about. I heard what he said. He said that they had the interview now before the Leicester game, and he was talking about Leicester and about Arsenal, and he said that the key now from now on out is about consistency. It's no use
Mm.
that we are laying fourth now, and that we come 38 games and then we drop to sixth. We
Yeah.
got to keep it up. We got to focus on winning games, and also by dominating games and also closing out games. So Arteta and his staff, they seem to be doing a really really good job. And you've got to give credit where credit is due. And if the Kroenkes can back this guy with the players that he needs, because remember he streamlined our squad now. There's very very little players that we have on our
Yeah.
bench. If we look at it to change a game, so
Yeah.
he's streamlined the squad, and he's making himself ready for the next season. And if the Kroenkes can back him with the financial support that he needs, and he can bring in I mean, he's been bringing his players, but he's been getting rid of players. So now he needs to build up not just a team, but he needs to build up a very, very strong squad
Correct.
to compete. So he's going to need, like, I understand he wants two strikers and a midfielder. So the Kroenkes, they have to back this guy, because, I mean, at the moment he's showing what he can do with the little
Yeah.
resources that he has at the moment. So yeah.
All right, Jonathan, you are on, brother. What is your take on my or your response to my question?
Yeah, Michael Arteta for me, as we all can see where Arsenal come from, we've been struggling since Wenger left, and I'm also one of those guys. I don't like managers to come and go. If you look at Man United, the managers they had Mourinho, they had Van Gaal, but up until today, 5 years later, nothing has worked for them yet, as you can see. But as you can see, since Arteta came in this short space of time, he at least won two trophies. Let's count the Charity Shield as well, with the
Mm.
FA Cup, and like Wolfie was saying now, with the limited resources and a budget, with not so quality players like the Man Cities and the Liverpools and Chelsea's, we're still doing very well. And if you look at what Ateta is doing, it's easy for him to work with the younger players now. Because if you heard all the guys who were speaking at Man City, Sterling, used to work with Foden, Rodri, the younger guys, they all developed well. And if you look at them now, 2 years later, since Ateta is gone, those guys are all flourishing and performing. And he's doing exactly the same with Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, basically everybody in our squad. You see, for me, what he needs to work on in our squad is he needs to learn. But I mean that comes over time and with experience is to see games out properly. Like you saw how we ended off the Watford game.
Mm.
We were a bit shaky at the back, and then like the last 20-25 minutes we tend to get nervous. So but with experience we'll get over that. But for me, Ateta, I was from the beginning I was giving him a chance because I can see he's got a vision, he's got direction. And obviously if you come in and replace a guy at any place that was there before for 22 years or 25 years, it's not going to be easy. He had to get rid of all the old players. There's contracts. There's Since he came in after Unai Emery left us, there were no connection with the fans. The squad was disassembled. He brought
Mm.
everything together, together. And you can see, even if we draw a game, we lost against Man City, but there were not even one Arsenal fan who were criticizing him or the squad, although we lost. And that is also a good sign for me. You see that he is doing something good. But yeah, I'm fully behind him, and as the squad grow, it's a good thing we have him. As the squad grow, he grow. Like Wolfie said, when we lose, we win, we draw. He's still learning. He was. We all know he was not a manager. He was an assistant coach
Mm-mm.
for Pep Guardiola, or one of the coaches there. He was never a
Yeah.
manager in charge of a club, and for him to come in and do what he's doing at the club, like the stature of Arsenal, and look at our performances, our results, and where we are laying, he's doing quite well. He's doing quite
Yeah.
well. For yeah,
Yeah.
that's my brother on him.
Yeah. I asked the question because I mean, there's a lot of guys that's against Arteta, even though with the run that we have and what he has done, what changes he brought, and both of you obviously touched on those changes. I mean, even now, I mean, Wolfie mentioned something about the consistency, and this was one of the things in the same interview I'm reading that Wolfie probably saw is that the question that was posed to him was, if you beat Leicester, it will be the first time since you've been here that you've won 5 games in a row. Is that a sign of how you are developing? And his response to the question is, to be with the top teams, you have to win consistently. And Wolfie, that is what you mentioned, is that you have to win
Exactly.
consistently.
Exactly.
And you have to do it in a convincing way. And again, Jonathan, you touched on it on Saturday or Sunday. We weren't so convincingly in the last couple of minutes because we conceded another goal and we could have conceded a third. So that wasn't a convincing win, although we
We picked
went
up the
up
3 points. Yeah.
3 points. Um, and then he also go on to say is that I think you need even more than those amount of victories. He says you can't just have 5 victories. You're going to have more victories in a row for that, because the other teams in the league, they do 10, 11, 12, or even 18 games in a row that they win. And that is how he acknowledges that he knows where we are as a club. He knows where he wants to be. But he's not arrogant, like a lot of people might say. He's an arrogant person. He's not arrogant in his interviews,
Mm-mm.
and you can see it on the field. He's not an arrogant boy. He's a young coach. He's very dramatic. He's very charismatic, and I think doing what he's doing now consistently, he will get there. He will fail. He will draw. He will maybe lose a couple of games, but that's a learning curve for him, and learning on the job is the best. I mean, I don't know what industry you guys are in or have been in, and when you are thrown in the deep end, you tend to swim out on your own pace and on your own way, and
Yeah,
you learn the ropes and the skills of that particular business. So I think Arteta uh, um, has always have my support. I also criticize him where it's due. I'll also give him the praises when it's due. So that is how we should be, is to support our team and the manager, but also be very critical about when he makes mistakes, because I'm sure he learns from the mistakes. Anything else you guys want to say on Arteta? Because there's a lot of
Only,
things to say, but I'm sure all of us touched on a few things. Um,
okay. I also want to mention one thing, Alaimi and Ufi.
sure, no, go for it.
The the English media plays a big role in this game in the Premier League. Like for instance, look what Ateta is doing at Arsenal. Then we switch over to our rivals, our London rivals. They brought in
Mm,
Conte, who's a top class manager.
yeah,
For me personally, the Spurs only have two players, which is Son and Harry Kane. The rest is average. So they brought in a top class manager, Conte, and look how he's
do you like
complaining
do
week
you
in and week out.
do you like
He's
Spurs or do you
complaining.
hate?
No, I'm the opposite. I'm red. London is red. London is red. But if you hear what Conte is saying, it's like he can't work with players that is not top quality players. I mean, he come from Chelsea, he came from Inter Milan. Those are all quality players in every position. Here he needs to
Mm,
work with an dead bang average squad with only two quality players for me, which is Kane and Son, and he can't bring them together. When he lose, he wants to leave. When they win one game, he sings another song. But yeah,
mm,
Arteta is doing it consistently for the last couple of results we have with the limited squads, limited resources, still pulling
Mm.
the club together the way we need to go forward. And they still come against him. They still come
mm.
against him every time. They're going to say after the Leicester game, they're going to ask us, you better beat Liverpool the Wednesday night. Then we can see. And after Liverpool, it's just going to be an ongoing thing till the season ends.
Yes, yes. Look, I
It's
mean,
yeah. Look,
yeah. Sorry, go for it, Wolfie.
uh, anyway, look.
Go for it.
Just on Arteta, the subject of Arteta is that personally, I do find him very. He's a very ruthless guy. Very ruthless guy. Where when he came into Arsenal, he spoke about the non-negotiables. Now this I do not know. We do not know what is his non-negotiables. But as footballers and as supporters, we we look at our players to have passion. We look at our players to have desire, especially when we're losing games. So of course, the non-negotiables is to work hard in training, to listen to the manager, to be in it. Whatever vision
Mm,
Arteta has, you as a player, you have to believe in it. You
mm.
have to believe in it, and you have to give you 100%. You cannot moan if you're going to be substituted. You cannot complain. Those are the non-negotiables. If it is said that we're starting an hour earlier and you are there half an hour late or 10 minutes late or 1 minute late, it's non-negotiables. You have to be
Mm.
there. And that's where Arteta's his ruthless streak comes in. It's like a father. He will love
Mm.
you. He will love you
But it will
when
punish you.
you are obeying, when you are obedient. But if you're going to step out of line, you're going to get that wrath. And I mean, all fathers is like that because we love our kids. He loves his team, but he has to draw a line as he is the alpha. If we look at it in at Arsenal, and he has
Mm.
to keep those players in line because the other players need to respect him. And if
Yes,
one
yes.
player steps out of line, you are going to destroy everything because and then anybody can start doing it. And that's what happened to Aubameyang because I was left dumbstruck where a season ago the manager wanted Aubameyang to stay, basically begged him to stay, and he stayed. He signed the contract, and like a season later, and Arteta's like, "I'm not going to play you."
Mm.
Of course, Aubameyang stepped out of line. We all know he stepped out of line, and at the end of the day, he just he basically made a rod for his own ass, and
Yeah, yeah.
eventually, Aubameyang, as good as Aubameyang is, it doesn't make him a bad player,
Yes.
but it just at the end of the day, it just didn't go well with Arteta and what Arteta wants to do for the club.
Mm.
And he's not, even if you're going to be a big name player or a promising player, if you're not going to be in the vision to where the club wants to be, then you won't be part of the plans. And I do believe that it's a good thing. I actually like it. I like
Yes.
it.
It's true what you're saying. And also, I mean, I've said it before, and I've also had a post on Facebook, on my Facebook page, is that a lot of Arsenal, in fact, Arsenal players, or Arsenal fans at least, are very hard to please. Whether we lose or whether we win, there's always the same old that will criticize them, and they will still want Ateta out. Either show off, want Ateta out or Ateta in. You still get those fans that are really hard to please. Right, let's park Ateta for the moment. Um, this is now something that we need to sort of look at. Who's it gonna be? I don't really see Wolves getting any closer to fourth. But they are there. They are
Mix.
the mix. United is probably, in my opinion, our best competitor to reach top four, because of the 1 point difference that we have, even though we have 3 games in hand or on them. What is your take on where we're going to be? Leave your prediction, obviously. I don't know what your prediction was in the beginning of the season. At this stage, this is where we are now. Arsenal is fourth, United fifth, West Ham sixth, and seventh and eighth. So we are 1 point ahead of United, and I think it was. Let me just go to the next slide. Yeah, we are 1 point ahead of United and 3 on West Ham. Hey, what is that there? That's wrong there. 1 point ahead of United, 3 on West Ham, and yeah, like Tottenham and Wolves, I'm not even looking at. So I'm going to change something quickly, but we can still talk about it. So what do you say, Jonathan? Where do
On
you
the
think we're going to end?
on the top four, it's quite early. As much as I want us to be in the top four, and I know we're going to do it, uh, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for to be honest. It's not going to be easy for us to be in that top four. Like the coach mentioned, we need to get that consistency, and we're playing. Our games is gonna be thick and fast now because we had quite some rest. If you look at the fixtures way back, we almost played. Haven't played for 2 weeks, and while the other guys were playing, we only played now over Watford, and now we're getting in the stride again. Leicester on Sunday, and Liverpool
Liverpool
on
on
Wednesday, and
Thursday.
then the
Oh,
weekend, and again. So if we can get into the confidence is there. The confidence is there from the players that we can do it. Um, yeah, I think if we can get a result on Sunday and get the result on Wednesday, because Liverpool is actually the tough one. That is the one that bothers me, not Leicester, because we're going to beat Leicester on Sunday because they not we're supposed to beat them because they are not in form like previous seasons. They just hanging in there as well, according to me. Now that's my opinion. Uh, but we but the Liverpool one, and if we can get the result against Liverpool on Wednesday or Thursday, for me, I think we're going to make it. Yeah, because I don't see Spurs or Man United stopping us. Not because I'm saying that based on the performance from their teams and the results. Because if you look at Arsenal now, it's a bit hard to beat us, but it's easier for other teams to beat Man United and Spurs. Spurs beat Man City. They lost against Burnley. Even Man United, they're struggling also. They're not getting that consistency in results as
yes.
much as like we do. So yeah, for me, if we get the result against Liverpool on Wednesday, the confidence will be up. The belief will be even more and stronger, and the unit is growing. Yeah, we definitely will make it. For me, Wednesday is the crunch one against Liverpool. Leicester, we're
Okay,
finishing on Sunday.
that's good to know. Ruthie.
I wish I wish it was as easy as you are, and just as Jonathan just said now. This is the English Premier League, Jonathan. Who would have thought Spurs would have beat an informed Man City, and who would
Yeah.
have
And
thought
we
that
Burnley.
and who would have thought a struggling Burnley would beat Spurs? But
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
this is the Premier League, and you know, we were a relegation threat. Apparently, we were a relegation team back in after 3 games, and who would have thought that we would have been laying fourth after 25 games? So it's still a long way to go to talk about fourth. If we had like
Yeah,
5 games remaining, if we had 5 games remaining, and you asked me that question now, then I would have said yes. if there was 5 games remaining. But with with the amount of, I mean, we're playing a Leicester City team that is like, they're not struggling. They've been winning a couple of games. And if we look back at when we beat them, who was our man of the match?
Mm.
Our goalkeeper. It could have easily been 4-1 when we played Leicester City. So Leicester City, they tend to up the game when they play against top teams. I mean, we've seen they beat Liverpool. I think they beat them, 1-0, I think.
Yeah.
Um, they always up the
No,
game. I mean, they beat
Liverpool.
Man United.
Liverpool won West Ham.
No, I'm talking about Leicester.
Oh, Leicester. Sorry. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Leicester beat Liverpool and Man United. So it's not going to be an easy game. It's really not going to be an easy game. It's going to be actually a tough game. I'm actually more worried about the Leicester game than the Liverpool game. The Liverpool game, I would take a draw, but we need to win this game. We really need to win this game, and we need to forget about the games in hand, because that means nothing. It means nothing. Because if we lose again, for argument's sake, if we lose against Leicester and we lose against Liverpool, and Spurs beat United and they win again, they automatically go into fourth. That's how. That is how intricate or how difficult the Premier League can be, and that fourth spot has no one's name on it. Not now. Not now. It has no one's name on it. And as Arteta just said, it's all about consistency. It's all about performance on the day. And Sunday's match was a wake up call. It was a
Yeah.
wake up call, because Arteta focused more on the defense than the victory against Watford, because we were poor. Our goalkeeper was poor. Our centre backs was poor. The choices that they made was poor. Our left back was poor against Watford. We we should have easily won that game 4-0 if we look
Yes.
at the game. We gave them basically 2 easy goals to score, and and that's what Teto's worry, and I can see it's his worry, because his focus was on the defense. And if we look at the camera on the whole game against the Watford game, we would have seen how animated this guy is. He was so upset. I think he threw a bottle or something. But that is for me the worry, that our defense, they need to tighten up, especially against Leicester and especially against Liverpool. They need to be solid, because there was a time that we were struggling to score goals. Then our defense was quite solid, and now that we're scoring goals, it's as if our defense has now pulled up the handbrake, and now they're like off their game. And they can't be off their game. They need to be
Yeah.
solid at the back. Our goalkeeper needs to make the right decisions for that whole 90 plus minutes. He can't make mistakes. He needs to be solid.
Yeah.
Cannot Complacency cannot enter our minds of our players at this moment of time. Remember, this is a young team. They've not been here before. So it is so easy for them to pick up a defeat, and then the confidence would drop, because they've not been in fourth, they've not challenged, they've not faced any kind of pressure yet. So it's a mountain to climb at this point, because from here on out, this is where we really need to start winning, and
True.
especially now this weekend, because we got the Spurs and the Man United game. With that
Yes.
game in mind, we need to beat Leicester. We now need to beat Leicester, and we
Yes.
need to get a result against Liverpool. We can't now start losing games. We need to get a result against Liverpool, and we need to beat Leicester. And and
We've got
and
a
and, and like I said, he's been playing brilliantly, but he really needs to start scoring
one
goals too.
score. Yeah,
He
that's
needs
one
to
thing.
start scoring.
Definitely. Yeah.
He needs to come
We've
to the
got a
party with some goals.
we've got a new person here. Looks like Nadine Arnold. Welcome, Nadine.
Yeah, my phone's battery died, man. I
Oh,
just logged onto my daughter's phone quickly.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it is so tough. I mean, we really need to be consistent if we're gonna think about that fourth spot, because I mean, under Emery, we were like coasting into the Champions League, and then all of a sudden, through silly decisions, and it cost us. So yeah, we.
Mm. Okay, sorry. I'm not sure what happened there. All right, yeah. So top four, I still have my reservations about it. I checked. I don't know if you guys saw what difference was here. I had Man United logo by Arsenal and Arsenal's logo by West Ham and West Ham's by United. I had to just change that
Oh,
quickly. And yes, it's so true what you're saying, Wolfie, is that those three games there that we have in hand does not mean anything. It does not mean anything if we can't get points from it because we need to get points. We need to get maximum points on Sunday. Liverpool, it's going to be tough to get maximum points, even though we're playing at home. It's going to be hard, hard, hard. And of course, Spurs is going to be tough because yes, Jonathan, you said there's two players in Spurs, but there's also a very unpredictable two players that I believe that Spurs has. It is that Mores, what is his name?
uh,
The Brazilian number 27,
yeah,
Lucas Moura.
Mora.
Mora.
He's very unpredictable, so I can't write him off. And of course, the new guy, he just scored his first Premier League goal over the weekend or last. When was it? No, yesterday or the day
It was against
before.
Man City, I think.
No, he
The guy
scored
that came
now.
from
No,
Juventus.
yeah, Kulusevski, and that is a guy that we are also interested in. It's Dejan Kulusevski, also very very
They scored against Man
unpredictable.
City as first goal.
Yeah, it's a very unpredictable player. So I agree with you when you say we Tottenham only have two quality players, but there's some players there that are very very unpredictable, and that is also one of the games that I'm afraid of is Aston Villa. So that is going to be a tough game. Um, So yeah, top four. Lenny just sent me a message. I don't know what's wrong with Lenny's devices. He would not talk about top four. He will talk about top three. Is what he was saying. So he will be chasing Chelsea. We are 5 points away from Chelsea. It's not a. Yeah, we need to win games, Lenny. I'm sure that is what we need to do is to win, win, and win. Um, let's just take this away. Yeah, Wolfie. This is the rumors you have there. Ollie Watkins. You've got Marcus Rashford. You've got Tillemans. You've got Calvert Lewin, and also there's a rumor of Lewandowski. Gee, man,
It's wow, what a player! Eh?
that
What a player! What
that's
a player!
he should have been my. He was my choice for the Ballon d'Or.
What a player!
He should have won that Ballon d'Or,
He
not
must be the
Messi.
deadliest striker he must be the deadliest striker in the last 5 years, I think. He's
Yes,
so
yes, he's very
consistent. He's so
consistent. Very
consistent.
consistent. He will score you goals at any time.
He's the
At
guy that you
any
always
time.
look to get you.
Exactly.
What a
So
brilliant player!
if the rumors would have been true, these five guys are sort of linked to Arsenal. What would have been your choice? Obviously, Tielemans is a midfielder, and the rest of the guys are more of a striker, except for Marcus Rashford is more of a winger.
Mm,
Um, I don't think he will walk into an Arsenal team because our wingers are brilliant at this stage, and I
yeah,
think
at the
better
moment.
than him. I think they're even better than him at the moment.
So,
So, which one of those guys, if you were Arsenal and you could have gotten any one of these guys, who would have been?
I would even look. Um, Okay, if I take Labaduski, I mean, I would take Labaduski any time of the day. But to be realistic, I would go for Calvert Lewin, just because I think that it's something that Arsenal need right now. I think it gives us a plan B,
Yeah,
because he's tall and he's good in the air. So it gives
yeah.
us another dimension. I mean, we do put a lot of crosses in the box, but no one really gives. No one, no. I don't think we ever score header goals.
Mm.
So
Not this
I
season, at
mean,
least.
not this year.
Well, yeah,
So we
we did actually. In
so
fact, it was the defender, Gabriel. Yeah.
Gabriel, yeah. But as strikers, our strikers they don't normally score their head. I mean, so I'm looking at Calvert Lewin, and I'm thinking this is the guy that we actually need as a
Mm.
striker, and to just to give us that extra dimension going forward. Like you said, we got brilliant wingers. Um, so it might give defenders something a little bit more to worry about when we have him in our team, because now we got a guy that can score a goal with his head, or a guy that can is not just he's a bit
Hold
of
up the
a
ball.
fox in the box. Yeah, he's a hold up the ball. He does what Lacazette does, but also he's good in the air, and he's a fox in the box. He scores if you give him the service that he requires.
You will
He's willing to
score.
score the goals. Yeah, the scrappy goals. He's willing to find the net, and a lot of his goals has come in. He scores all kinds of goals, and that's what I'm looking at. And the fact that he's young, is English, and I'm thinking about Saka, and I'm thinking about Benjamin White. Oh, I'm
Mm.
thinking about it good. So I would definitely go for a Calvert Lewin to start at Arsenal.
Okay.
I like
So
Watkins, but yeah, Watkins is a guy that drifts to the wings. He's a good striker, but he drifts to the wings. But we need somebody that's an out and out striker that can do us
mm,
that business, that can score those goals for us that we need.
correct. Also, Calvert Lewin, it just doesn't have all. That's not all his qualities he has. He's also a very
Exactly.
fast. He's a pacey guy. He's very pacey, and I'm sure if he has to run with the ball, he will clearly do a couple of yards ahead of any other defender. So he's a very pacey guy. I like Tillemans. Tillemans is a very good midfielder to have as well. Tillemans is very consistent in the midfield. Therefore, I think he's a first choice ahead of what is his name, that James Madison.
Yeah,
Uh, so he's a very good asset to have, and I think Liverpool are still uh, after him. Liverpool and now Manchester United is after him.
he's a box to
Um,
box.
he's a box to box guy. Yeah. In terms of what's happening with Chelsea now, do you think we stand a chance? Like Lenny said, he will go for third position. Do you think we stand a chance to maybe to throw a spanner in the works there?
I think they need to start dropping. I think Chelsea needs to start dropping some points. I mean, I can't see them winning all the games, but look, what is happening to the club. It, it's a more of a it's more of a it's a manager. It's more of a. It's got nothing to do with the football. It's got nothing to do with on-field performance.
Mm,
You
mm,
understand? It's nothing to do with on-field performance. They still have their manager. They still have their players. Their players are still motivated. Their players want to play in the Champions League. But on their performance, if they do drop points, we can catch them if we are consistent. They
mm.
will drop points. They will drop points, and they will lose games, and they will draw games. They might go through a slump, but that's for us to just to be consistent. And they know that we are behind them, so they know that they also need to start winning. So let's see when they play tougher opposition, because there will be games where they will have to play against the Aston Villas, and they will have to go to I think, do they still have to play Liverpool?
I think they're done with Liverpool.
I think they're done with Liverpool.
I
They
think they're
still have to
done
play
with Liverpool.
Arsenal. They still have to play Arsenal.
Yes, they do, and
They
that's
have to
one of
play
our
that.
game in
That's
hand.
one
Yeah.
of our game in hand. So yeah, I mean, I mean, it's still a long, long way to go, and like you said, it's they can be pulled into that fighting for that fourth spot, and that fourth spot can become
Uh,
a horse race for third and fourth. I mean, if we look at
Yeah.
Arsenal, if we aren't consistent, and it could be Arsenal, Man United, Spurs, and Chelsea battling it out for two positions.
Mm, sure. And then one thing that's really irking me is that guy there at the back with his open mouth. um,
Rashford.
Rashford. Oh, I don't know why a rumor like that would sort of make it appearance, because I don't rate that guy really. I think he
Yeah,
came
look,
too
it's
fast on the scene. He's been praised too quickly. He didn't have chance to really grow
that's true.
into the player that he. I know he's a good player. He can be a good
Mm.
player, but I don't rate him. I mean, there's a lot of United supporters that I'm friends with that doesn't rate him either. And to have a rumor of that guy linked to Arsenal, oh, it's just a rumor, but still, just the thought of of him coming to Arsenal, the possibility, I don't know. It's another United scrap. In other words, that we will
Yeah,
take if that is the case.
he reminds me a bit
So
of a Danny Welbeck. We used to
look,
have that
Welbeck.
pace.
Yes, yes, you're right. You're right. So, in terms of the transfers, we need a couple of backup players if we're gonna play Champions League or European football next year. We need a handful of players, because he
That's true.
said he said earlier on that a squad of what we have now won't
Be good
make
enough.
it. Yeah, so you need the amount of games that we are going to play, because we're going to play Champions League or Europa. We're going to play FA. We're going to play the Carabao. We're going to play EPL. So we need players to play in each of those
That's true.
competition. So I think we need to take out the money, and like you said early on, the Cronkies must, they have to come to the party and support us in terms of the funds.
Yeah, so of course.
Um, Anybody that you'd want to see that's not on that picture that you want to see at Arsenal?
I would, the guy that I would have loved to have seen at Arsenal is the guy that went to Newcastle. That Brazilian guy,
Bruno
Bruno.
Guimaraes.
Yeah,
He in fact scored as well on
yeah. He
on
was man.
this.
He was named man of the match after that Newcastle game in the midweek.
Yeah, he
And
scored.
that
Yeah.
actually, yeah, and when I see these kind of things, it actually upsets me. If we, I mean, 35 million, we could have easily have paid that money. I mean, we paid
Easy,
45
easy,
million
easy
for we paid 45 million for party. So
for Potter.
if
Yeah.
it's a yeah, so I mean, he's a Brazilian guy. It's a guy he's been linked with us. He was available. I can't understand why didn't we go for him? And we
Yeah.
know we know his quality. Edu knows his quality. He's Brazilian, same as Edu. And I mean, he's been on the radar, and I just can't understand it. I honestly couldn't. And that's a player he's a defensive player, the player that we need. That would
Yes.
have that would have been that one of that pieces in a jigsaw that would have just made us much more better than what we are now.
Yeah. I
And
think our attention was too much on Vlahovic and on
yes, we had all our eggs in one
Arthur.
basket.
That was too much emphasis placed on them. And I think for a player of Bruno, sure,
We should
the
have got him.
quality that
And
that
he's such
guy's
a
got.
young player also. He's a
Yeah.
young up and coming player, promising. And we I mean, he played against PSG, and he was also named man of the match. So
Mm.
he is a good player.
He
He's a
played
player that I
against
would have
Lille.
loved to have. Yeah, and okay, but besides him, now he went to Newcastle. The guy that I actually want is Ruben Neves to come into that Arsenal midfield. He's a brilliant
Mm.
player. He's brilliant.
I also I
He's
also
a
rate him. Yeah,
dictator. I mean, his passes is brilliant. I mean, he can
he's
switch
box to box.
plays exactly, and he can score good free kick goals. I mean, he's a brilliant player. He's a player that we actually need. I mean, he's the upgrade from for Granit Xhaka, Zaka. But
Xhaka.
yeah, I mean, Ruben Neves, I would take. I actually really hope that we do go for him because
Yeah,
he
look,
they
there's
yeah
obviously there's links and all sorts of things, and Ruben Neves, irrespective of what was said in that first game they lost against us,
yeah
when we the things that he said in the media about our celebration, that's things
yeah
that's always going to be there. But that doesn't mean that the player might have to might want to come to Arsenal because he was willing last summer. He was willing to come. He was willing to move from Wolves. And what a player he is! I think he's a much better player than Xhaka, and I think he's a much better asset to have, especially for the position that Xhaka is taking up now as a number 8. So Neves would easy peasy fall into
that's
that
true.
number 8 because he will do the all the running around, and Partey will just sit behind him and whatnot. Um, and then of course the next couple of minutes we can obviously, I don't know what happened to Jonathan, and I don't know. Lenny is not gonna obviously. He's trying, but I don't know what's happening with Lenny. His devices tonight. All right, so this is the fixtures that we had. The January fixtures, as you could see, it wasn't the
Mm.
best fixtures. I mean, we ended up with a draw in January. Then we start February with wins. So we had a good run in February. All our games in February we won. And we started March off with a good 3 points, but not the best of games. So yes, March is next game is Leicester, Liverpool, Villa, and of course the Crystal Palace. We've got 2 games at home and the other 2 games we've got away. Gonna be tough. Gonna be
It's gonna be
tough.
a tough.
Even
Yeah,
the
it's gonna be a tough 3 games. This is a tough. This is tough fixtures. If you look at it, the Leicester game is gonna be a tough game. The Liverpool game
Liverpool,
is.
sure.
I would love us to hit one over them, especially just to shut these Liverpool supporters' mouths up.
Yeah, I tell you,
Honestly,
man. I tell you.
they have been arrogant. I mean, it's like it's going out of fashion. I mean, somebody needs to shut them up. Somebody. So I would, if we can. I mean, if we can get at least a draw by these guys, it will a draw would help. But then we need to beat and Aston Villa is not. Aston Villa
It's
is a
unpredictable, eh?
very very tricky team. They are very very tricky, and especially under this new manager. I've been watching them, and they're actually dangerous. They are dangerous. They hit Leeds with what is it, 2-3 nil or something. So they are a
For
dangerous
no,
team,
yeah.
and yeah, I mean they're dangerous, and they're climbing the table, and they got experienced players. And I mean Coutinho, I mean he played in Bayern Munich, he played for Barcelona,
Hmm.
Liverpool, and he's basically given them another just up. They just up been uplifted as a team, and their performance is up there. So it's going to be difficult, and Giroud's he's a pretty good manager. Eh? I mean, we saw what he did at the Rangers, and
Yes.
he's doing good things at Aston Villa also. So it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. I mean, he took the Aston Villa team to lose narrowly against Liverpool 1-0.
And
So it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a tough picture. Very tough. Very
so
very
so
tough.
Liverpool is playing at Brighton tomorrow, the first game. So that's going to be very, it's going to be a good game in terms of where the rest of the fixtures is going to go to. If Liverpool loses tomorrow against Brighton, which is unlikely, then I think the likes of Chelsea and ourselves probably have to win our games
Yes, of
in order
course.
to when we meet them next on Thursday or Wednesday, we're gonna have to be confident in going into the
The
Liverpool game
Liverpool game.
because yeah. So if but it's Brighton, so Brighton is an inconsistent team, but again,
They're
Brighton is
very
fighting
inconsistent.
for life. They fighting for life. They are 2 points, 3 points. Okay, no, they're not so much fighting. They're mid-table, so
They're
that's
the
all
top
right.
of
Um,
they're the top half of the table, but they're still a
they
tricky
no, they're
still
in
a
third.
tricky team
They
to go to.
13th,
Oh,
and
okay.
then Aston Villa's playing West Ham. They're playing West Ham
Now
away,
another tough game,
so
man.
that's
That's a
going to
tough
be
game,
also
man.
a tough game.
That's a
And
tough game.
they just playing. They playing the game the time before us, so we need to watch
It's a
that
tough
game as
match, yeah.
well closely because they gonna that gonna be yes Leonard. Okay, there's gonna mean that we can do something against Leicester confidently, knowing that there's points there. Um, Wolfie, we're gonna get to a point where you need to now give me your predictions for at least tomorrow and Thursday,
Tomorrow.
because
Um,
the other guys
it
are
all my
not with
predictions.
us.
I hope. Tell me, what is the story with Mr. Jamie Vardy? Is the guy going to be playing
He's
tomorrow or what?
injured. He's injured.
He is injured.
He's injured. Yeah.
It's still
So
going to be a difficult, still a difficult game. It's still going to be a difficult game, and we are the home team, and we should be creeping in a victory. 2-1. I'm going to go with the 2-1 to Arsenal. I'm going to be confident and say
okay.
we should. We got the confidence from the Watford game. We need to just strengthen up. We just need to shake our back line up a bit. Let's hope they're on the game tomorrow. And I'm going to go the 2-1 to Arsenal. Definitely. We need to
Okay.
win it.
All right.
The boys are on fire, so I'm going to go with the 2-1. Definitely 2-1 to Arsenal. It's going to be
All
nail
right. I'm
biting
gonna
again,
keep
but
you
let's go
there.
with that 2-1. I mean, if we look,
It's gonna be.
can you remember that the Giroud, was it the Giroud or the Welbeck last minute goal?
It
I think it
was
was the Welbeck goal.
against
Leicester.
against West Ham.
No, it was against Leicester, man. Can you remember the Welbeck
Leicester.
goal?
Yeah, it was Welbeck
Yeah, the
goal with
last
the.
minute, the last minute. They always seem to give us nail biters when they play against us. So it's going to be a tough game.
It's gonna
Going
be
to be a
tough.
tough
Look,
game.
Leicester is a quality team, so
The
I'm not
quality,
gonna.
they got quality players. So it's all based on the performance on the day and how well we play and how consistent we are. So yeah, I'm going with the 2-1.
And the Liverpool game.
The Liverpool game is, after they attacked our manager, after
Klopp.
Liverpool that Jurgen Klopp attacked our manager, he can be a bit of a bully when things don't go
Yeah,
his way. He's a bit of a
true.
bully. He, we tend to think this is such a nice guy, but when things is not going his way, he can actually abuse the officials seriously. So
Yes.
I want to shut this guy's mouth up. Him, his players. He's got dirty players in money, dirty players, and a lot of these officials they tend to turn a blind eye when we play Liverpool. I mean, Mane keeps on bullying our players,
That.
but it's for the
Yeah.
ref. It's the ref that seems to just turn a blind
Mm.
eye. And that was what drove this whole. That is what put the fire in Arteta's belly when
Both of
that
them.
continuous
Yes.
challenges on Ben White. So I just hope that we can shut these guys up once and for all. Honestly, I don't care if we score one goal and defend for 90 minutes, just to shut them up. Honestly, really,
We've
we
we've
need
we've done
to.
it before. We've done
We've
it
done
with
it
10 men.
before.
So
We have done it before with 10 men. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to shut these people up again. And they gave us that 4-0. But I'm telling you now, it's a different Arsenal. It
Mm,
is a different Arsenal. The goals that we gave them, we basically gave them the game. If you go
yes.
back and watch that game now, we basically gave them that game. We're more experienced now, and Ten is back. So you know what? I'm actually going to go with a win, just because I'm an Arsenal supporter, and just because I don't like Liverpool. I'm going
Well,
with
then it'll be
a 2-1
4
to
0.
Arsenal. I'm going. Oh, you want me to go get Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry back? I'm going to get the other Invincibles back. I'm gonna go.
Lenny,
I'm gonna go with
are
a
you
2-1.
there?
I'm going with a 2-1. 2-1 to
2-1.
Arsenal against Liverpool. I don't care. I'm going with a 2-1. We gotta beat
Okay.
these guys.
I'm gonna go for a draw, a 1-1 draw. Yes, I agree with you. We have to win them. We need to win them. We must win them. But I'm still concerned.
I'm concerned too. I'm very very concerned. But you know what? I'm going to put my. I'm not gonna go in my head. I'm gonna go in my heart with this
God,
prediction. Yes. So I'm gonna go in my
one,
heart. I'm gonna go 2-1. My
2-1.
head is for Leicester, so I'm going with 2-1 to Arsenal. But my heart is gonna be now. We are going to
Uh,
win.
yeah, with Leicester, I'm going 2-0. And with Liverpool, I'm going for the draw 1-1. Then I
Okay.
just send that to you. It's official. I'll send it to you. You
Okay.
can check it afterwards. Yeah, I'm gonna have load shedding in the next couple of minutes, or maybe
Yeah.
in an hour's time. That's an hour's time. And Lenny gave me his prediction 2-1 to Leicester and 2-2 to Liverpool. The draw of 2-2. That was Lenny's predictions. Lenny, I hope you can hear us. That next time, please, we can sort out your devices. It would have been nice to hear all your thoughts. Lenny is so quiet. He's very, very upset. And
Yeah. This when's the next time, lady?
the enforcer, the enforcer was also supposed to be here tonight, but he was called in for work. So I have to work tonight. So he will watch it tomorrow, obviously, like he always does.
Tell the
He will leave
enforcer
his comment.
next. Yeah, we're gonna broadcast from his house after the
From
Liverpool. We're gonna
Newcastle.
Yeah, we come before the Liverpool game. We're gonna do a live broadcast from your house. We're coming there. We're coming there. The Red
No,
Army is on his way.
he stays a few minutes away from the Newcastle stadium,
Oh,
and
okay.
he can hear them. He can hear them
Everything.
when they score goals. Yeah, he can hear them. So yeah, Des, we miss you. Lenny, sorry, we miss you, my man. And of course, Jonathan, I hope your devices are also sorted out for the next time. Wolfie, anything of your last words that you want to say?
Yeah,
Anything?
I just want to say thank you for having me on the show again. It's always been a privilege. To the guys that have been on the show, enjoy the game, yeah, and to all the other gooners too, enjoy the game. Enjoy the weekend. Have a blessed weekend. That includes you too. And yeah, look, it's always good to speak about Arsenal, to wear the jersey, to watch the games. It brings that people. Only Arsenal supporters will understand the spirit that we have when we talk about our team and we watch our team. It's good to be watching a game with the Gooners. So yeah, enjoy the game and everything of the best. Let's hope we can get that 2 victories that we need. So yeah.
Sure, no problem. Thanks for being here. Just one thing quickly is Warren invited us to the pub for a game where we can watch the game. I'm not sure when you guys are available. Maybe we could watch the Villa game. The Villa game is on the weekend, right?
Yeah, that will be awesome. That will be awesome.
The Villa game is on the weekend. Yeah. So let me just check what date was that.
Definitely we should
The
hook up.
2nd of April. Yeah, the
Yeah,
2nd of
yeah, yeah, that will be
April.
awesome.
It's on a Saturday. That would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, definitely we should hook up. We
So
should definitely hook up.
yeah, that would be lekker. And he also said I can do a live show from there once if I am available for it. So maybe we can do a
100%.
halftime, 15 minutes to
That
just
will be
catch up
awesome.
with whatever. That would be lekker.
That will be awesome.
But yeah, Wolfie,
That
thanks
will
a
be
lot, my
awesome.
man, for
Yeah,
being
man.
available. And I hope you enjoy the game on Sunday. We're playing the late game, 6:30. And let's see what we can do against Leicester
Yeah,
with
man.
your 2-1 and my 2-0 and Lenny's 2-0 and everybody's 5-0 and yeah. Anyway, all the best, my man. Enjoy
Yeah,
with the
man.
family your weekend.
Cheers, you
And
too.
yeah. Oh, did you get a hold of that guy that you
Oh
spoke to
no, I was
last
thinking,
to new job?
I was thinking of you in the weekend. What you told me, but unfortunately, I haven't seen the guy. And as soon as I see the guy, I will definitely, because I actually wanted to speak to the guy because I wanted to speak to him about the game, but I never saw him on Monday. And so yeah,
Hmm.
as soon as I get him, I'll definitely encourage him to come on the show. So yeah, as soon as
Yes,
I get him,
and
I just hope I get him. I hope I get him in next week.
cool.
Definitely.
All right. So thank you for those who just popped in and those who will watch it afterwards. And yeah, I'm gonna play out with this in outro. Guna Matters out. Stay safe. Cheers.